Not all rifle optics are built the same. I'm Nick with Swampfox, and today we're going to talk about how to choose the right rifle optic for your needs. Your rifle is only half the equation. What you mount on top of it is where you'll truly find if you're going to shine or fall flat. One of the longest standing American traditions is hunting. Whether you're doing this for recreation and bonding with family and friends, or you're actually putting food on the table, either way, you need the right tool for the job. Now, if I was choosing a scope for hunting, I would probably choose one of these. This is our Kentucky Long and our Patriot. There are some very important considerations when hunting that are different from other applications. One of the biggest ones is variable lighting conditions. Now, if you're hunting pronghorns in the plains, obviously you're gonna have a lot of sunlight. But if you're hunting an elk in the cloudy winter in the forest, you're gonna have less light. So you need something with great light transmission, very clear glass, and a reticle that you can use to make sure you get that animal down in one ethical shot. What these both share is they both have parallax adjustment, which is extremely important when shooting to distance. These are both available with the Sharpshooter MOA or Sharpshooter Mill reticle. Whether Mill is better or MOA is better is not the subject of this video. There are great resources out there that can help you decide which is right for you, preferably the Swampfox YouTube channel. Regardless of which you choose, a usable reticle is key. Now, another very, very important aspect is your magnification range. Sometimes people will go all the way up to max magnification, thinking that'll make things clearer for them. And maybe it does, but what that also introduces is it exaggerates your natural wobble. Your body is in a constant state of motion, no matter how still you are. And you can see that very clearly when you're looking through your optic. This Kentucky Long is a 5-30. The other options include a 2-12, a 3-18, and a 4-24. All of those are great as hunting magnification ranges, depending on how comfortable you are shooting at certain distances. Now, this Patriot is a 6-24. This also comes in a 4-16. With both of these scopes, you're looking through a 30mm tube. Now, while we're talking about scopes and precision shooting, something that's gaining a lot of popularity is PRS, or precision rifle shooting, specifically in competitions. And hunting scopes and PRS scopes share a lot of features. So let's put this guy back and bring out another contender. This is the Warhawk. The Warhawk and the Patriot both have very similar feature sets, but the Warhawk has some additional things. Now, PRS has its own set of challenges. It's shooting under time pressure while maintaining accuracy. You need the ability to dial or hold at distance, and you need to be able to see your target. Glass clarity is very important. Now, this Warhawk in particular is a 5-25. If you look behind me, that's my personal rifle. That's also a Warhawk, but that's a 2-10. That's great for different applications. I have that specifically for that, mid-range, somewhere between 100 to 500 yards. This will allow you to reach out much farther because of that magnification range. Now, the Warhawk and the Patriot are both first focal plane optics, which again gives you that Someone is calling me and my oh, these spam calls drive me insane. Now, the Warhawk and the Patriot are both first focal plane optics, and especially during a PRS match where speed is key, I don't want to have to be running numbers in my head. Let's talk about turrets for a second. When you're dialing, what you don't want is for it to be inconsistent or to shift when you don't want it to. Now, the Warhawk has locking turrets, so you pop them up, make your adjustment, and then lock it back into place. PRS matches have the same challenge as hunting, where you don't really know what you're up against depending on the match you're shooting. And so you could have those same variable lighting conditions. In a darker area, illumination can help a lot. And the Warhawk not only has parallax adjustment, but right here on the side, you have 12 levels of illumination. For shooting distance, those scopes are all great. But what if you're looking for those closer ranges? For close-up work, we have one of my favorites. This is our Raider. Now, the Raider is a Prism. It has an etched reticle, which means if you don't have your illumination on, you still always have that reticle because it's physically etched on the glass. Now, this has no magnification, which is perfect for up close. Honestly, with this, you could probably hit to about 200. I certainly have. If you want to look on kind of different side of the close-up game, we also have LPVOs. This is our Tomahawk II. This is a 1:6 second focal plane with a 24mm objective lens. Now, one of the common complaints with LPVOs when up close is that the illumination just isn't bright enough to run it like a red dot, both eyes open real fast. But the BFO, which is our bright fiber optic reticle, really solves that problem. On 1X, this center dot is extremely bright. But with an LPVO, you have the added benefit of being able to run all the way up to 6 power. So if you need to reach out a little bit further, or you just want to get a positive ID on some sort of animal, regardless of the number of legs, you have that capability. I think LPVOs are an excellent option for anything up close. Either way, both of these are great options for quick target acquisition. If you needed to nail something together, you're not going to use a wrench. So why would you use the wrong tool when it comes to your firearms? Remember, optics don't make the shooter. So get out there, keep training, and stay dangerous. If you want to know more about any of the optics I showed you, make sure you check out our website at swampfoxoptics.com and look at the rest of the stuff on our YouTube channel. We have plenty of videos and tons of information if you have any questions. What do you think? Was I right? Was I way off? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you around.